This is another example where we are required to calculate the market price of a bond. And let's read what it says. Adventure Properties offers a 9.5% coupon bond with annual payments. The yield to maturity is 11.2%, and the maturity date is 11 years from today. What is the market price of this bond if the face value is 1,000? So we are going to solve this following the format from the previous one. So in case you didn't get that one, you have another chance to fully grasp this. Okay, so first things first, we're still following the same thing. So is it a coupon paying bond or a zero coupon bond? So that's the first thing that you want to determine. So based on our question here, it is a coupon paying bond because it says 9.5% coupon. So if you guess that it's a coupon bond, that's right. The next thing we want to do is what is the YTM? So we know that it's a coupon bond. Oops, I need to type in here 1 second. Yeah. So we know that it's a coupon bond. So solution, starting by answering this. So as I mentioned before, it's really important like to organize your work like this, because once you see like what type of bond this is and all these considerations that we need to calculate, then it will be easier to remember, so that we don't make like a lot of mistakes. So the first thing is that we determine that this is a coupon bond. And then the second thing that we need to determine is what is the YTM. So the YTM, as I mentioned before, is the yield to maturity, which is the discount rate that we're using for our calculation here. So the YTM here, let's see what it says. The yield to maturity is 11.2%. So we do have that as 11.2%. So that answers the second question here. And then the third part, it says that what is the coupon rate. So because we determined that this is a coupon paying bond, we want to know like what is the coupon rate that this bond pays. And from this question here, you see that it says that the property offers a 9.5% coupon bond. So the 9.5% is the coupon rate, which is the annual coupon rate. So we have, what is the coupon rate? So we have the coupon rate. Coupon rate is 9.5%. Oops, yeah. And then I should specify the second one that this is the YTM is 11.2. Okay. Actually, I should just make these so that each of them has like its own cell, because we'll need to click on the cells when we are doing the calculation. So the YTM here, we said 11.2%. And then it's a coupon bond. The coupon rate is 9.5. So I'm going to make the 9.5 to be its own cell, so it will be easier to click on it when you're doing the calculation. So we have the coupon rate is 9.5%. Okay. It changed to a decimal. That's fine. All right. The fourth thing that we need to determine is based on the YTM coupon relationship chart, which is the chart below here, do you expect the price to be above or below the par value? Okay, so as I mentioned before, like how to answer that question, you first have to look at the, you will first need to compare the YTM and the coupon rate, and you see which one is bigger, and then you come back here to this table and figure out whether we're expecting the bond to sell at a higher price, which is at a higher at a price higher than the par value, which is 1,000, or at a lower price. Okay, so here, because the YTM is 11.20 and the coupon rate is 9.5, we determine that the YTM is greater than the coupon rate. So in this case, we are seeing that the coupon rate, which is here, it's less than the YTM. So it's the very first rule here. So we expect that the market we expect that the market price of this bond will be less than the face value. So we expect the price to be less than 1,000 because the face value is given as 1,000. Okay. And then that shows that this bond will be selling at a discount, right? So once you determine this, like that's why I do have like these tips here. Like once you have you determine whether the bond will be selling at a price higher than 1,000 or below 1,000, it helps you to eliminate the choices that are actually above 1,000. So here we know that the market price of the bond is going to be less than the face value. So option A will be out, right? And option B will also be out. So we are only left with option C, choice C, and choice D. Okay, so that gives you like, just like a little bit of guideline of like where your answer would be, where your answer will lie. Okay, so we know that the coupon rate is less than the YTM, so the market price would be less than the face value, which is less than 1,000, and the bond is a discount bond. All right. Now that we have that idea, so number 4, we know that would be rule number 1. Okay, so that is rule number 1 based on this chart here. So for every example, I'll be, stringing along this chart so that, whenever we are doing calculation, it's easier to just like check side by side. Okay, and then the 5th consideration here is you ask yourself, are the coupons paid annually, semi-annually, quarterly, or monthly? So you want to determine whether determine the frequency of the coupon payments, right? And that will help us determine whether we need to modify the interest rate, which is the YTM, or if we need to modify the time to maturity, which is N. Okay, but since here, let's see what this question says. 9.5% coupon with annual payment. So the frequency of the coupon payments is once a year, right? So the payment is done once a year. So the 5th thing here, to answer the 5th consideration here, we have the coupon paid annually. So we do have annually. Okay, yeah. So the coupons are paid once a year. Okay. All right. So once you've answered those, it gives you a little bit of like a snapshot of like what you need to do next, because I bet it's going to be very, very easy to remember, like to know, like you make less mistakes if you organize your work this way, in my opinion. Yeah. And then now that we have all this data, we have time to maturity. So we need that. So it's time to maturity, which is basically the number of periods, or NPAR, number of periods. Okay. This is 11 years. And the reason why we're using 11 is because the coupon payments are made annually. So the payment is only done once. Okay. If we had a case where the coupon payments are made like in multiple frequency, like twice or 4 times a year, then that would be a different story. All right. So the N is 11 years. We have the YTM, we have that, and then the face value is given. So we need that too. Face value, which is also the par value. So that's given as 1,000. Okay, so now we need to calculate the market price, because the question says what is the market price of this bond if the face value is 1,000. So we need to calculate the price. Okay, yeah, calculate the price. So as I mentioned before, for the price, you're using the PV function here on Excel, and it will give us the answer. If it will give us the answer as a negative, but don't be alarmed. As I mentioned before, it's just the Excel function that recognizes the present value as a negative. So if you want to eliminate that, just put a minus sign before your function, and then type in the PV. As you can see, like the PV function pops here, and then it tells you like what you need to, like which item you need to select first, in that order. So we have rate, which is our discount rate. So make sure that you don't confuse these two, because the YTM and the coupon rate, sometimes like students do confuse them, and then they click on the wrong cells, okay, when they're inserting their function here. So the rate, just know that the rate is just basically the discount rate, and we'll be clicking on the cell that has the YTM. So it's 11.20%. And then don't forget the comma, we need that. Just follow along the way all these items are. Next thing, we need the N, which is the number of periods. It's 11 years. So click on the cell that has 11. And the PMT is the number of payments. So the PMT is basically the coupon rate times the face value. So because you can calculate that before, like in a separate cell. However, if you don't calculate it in a separate cell, we can still do it here. So just put a bracket. And we know that the coupon payment, which is the PMT, is just the coupon rate times our face value. So times 1,000. Okay, so if we did that in a separate cell, we'll just like click on the cell that has the answer, but still it doesn't change anything. And then put a comma. And next we need we have the PMT. So next we need the face value. So the face value is 1,000. So click on 1,000 because here. So the reason why you see B50 and B50 again is because like when we were calculating the PMT, we were calculating the payment in dollars, the coupon payment in dollars, which we saw before. Like the coupon payment is just basically the coupon rate times the face value of the bond. And then you put a comma. So the next item here is B50, which is the face value or the future value here. And then just put a bracket. You can either put comma 0 or just like ignore it. It doesn't change anything. And then probably gonna need one more parenthesis. Okay, let's see. Just a second. I think I should delete one parenthesis. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So as you can see, we have PV, the rate. We do have N, which is 11. We have the PMT, which is the coupon rate times the face value, and then we have face value. And there we go. We have our answer, which is 895.43, which is the same as what I highlighted here. This is what we should be getting. Okay. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense, and I'm excited to teach you the next concept.